Hello, hello, hello. Happy day. Happy to have you with me, be here with you. I am very excited. I'm going to start a little bit differently today. I'm T, your joyful parent guide and harmonizer. And instead of going right in with tip number 14 for today from Aletha Solter's Raising Drug-Free Kids, I have an invitation for you. I'm super excited. It's an invitation to a free masterclass that I am hosting in the Relational Parents Facebook group. It's going to be 3 days, and it's going to be in December. I don't have the dates in front of me, but it starts on the 8th, 9th, and 10th, or 8th, 9th, and 11th. I have not decided, but it's free, and it's going to be on the path of ease from struggle to joy. So you are going to get to customize it based on what you bring in to the class. And given that, it's going to be early December, it might be something that really tends to rock your world around the holidays, or it might be a repeating dynamic with your kid, or it might be a repeating dynamic with your sister or your father or whomever. And so if you're not a parent, but this sounds of interest to you, then you can just let me know that when you ask to join the group, that the masterclass sounds great, because even if you don't have a child, an external physical child, we all have a child that we need to care for, and that is our inner child. So that's a lot of what it's about. So with that, I will get into the tip for today from the book. So yesterday we started the new chapter, which was from birth to age 3. And the tip yesterday was strive for a drug-free pregnancy and birth. So today's tip is breastfeed, but beware of drugs. And this is a great tip, right? Like, so and some people can't breastfeed, so there's no judgment about that. But in a world where there's lots of options, and if you can, breast milk is like nature's answer. So who are we to think that we can outdo nature, right? Like, we don't know how to make a baby. Like, what we can do it in our own ways, but we don't know how to do it without the natural ingredients, right? Like, breast milk is the natural ingredients. We cannot mimic it. It's impossible. So great. It's the perfect food, right, for the infant. And also, breastfeeding does guarantee natural physical closeness between baby and mom. So that's another nice benefit of breastfeeding. She, in the book, also says, when you're breastfeeding, this is common sense, but it bears stating out loud. You want to avoid alcohol, tobacco, illegal drugs, and if you do have a little wine, whatever, then sort of pump your milk and don't and substitute formula and then go back. And same thing with prescription drugs or even over-the-counter drugs, right? If you need to take them. Now, if you don't need to, maybe you don't. But if you do, then go ahead and do that. But don't pass that along to your infant, because that's not for them. It's not going to be good. And there's so much development going on, and so much brain development going on. So you don't want to unintentionally be, messing around with that. So that's, you know what? I had a personal story I wanted to share. That's it from the book. But I wanted to share, I breastfed both of our sons, and this might help someone. I was like so beating the drum of breastfeeding. I was like, oh, this is like so necessary, and it's like, oh, da, 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 and I was all up in it. And so our first son, I breastfed for a length of time. I was happy with the length of time, and I did not exceed. I didn't go into, where he was, walking and talking and sitting on my lap and having a conversation with me and breastfeeding. I didn't do that. That was my choice. But I did it for a length of time. And then when number 2 came along, our circumstances were a lot different. We were living in the U.S. versus Canada. First of all, our work situations were different. Our life situations were different. I was more stressed. Okay, that's like the simple way to put it. I was a lot more stressed when number 2 came along. And plus, I had a toddler, a 19-month-old toddler, plus, all these other changes. So there was that. I breastfed for a length of time that was significantly shorter with number 2. And like things started to really, tank. I'm not sure if that's the right word, but things started to go downhill. I didn't have as much supply and all of that. And I will never forget my beautiful husband saying like, oh my gosh, what are we gonna do? Like you need to go see somebody and all of this. And I kind of had this knowing. I was like, you know what, sweetie, I'm stressed for some reasons that are not, like, I can't change the external reasons easily right now. And I also knew there was enough other stuff going on for me that I wasn't going to be able to change my internal wiring either like this so that I could keep breastfeeding. So I said, you know what, the best thing to do is for me to come to peace with it, and the best thing you can do for me is to come to peace with it. And he was kind of like, okay, all right. So I offer that because a lot of times we see these things outside of ourselves, like, oh, you have to breastfeed, you have to do this for 12 months, you have to do this for 24 months, you have to do this for 6 months, and then we have this measurement and we're like, oh my gosh, I'm falling short. And that is not true. It's only true if we let it be true. And it's so easy for us to do that. So I just want to give you that encouragement that you can feel into what is right for you, what you can do, what you can't do in a certain moment, and you can give yourself some grace. And that's the best thing that you can do for your whole family. I mean, whether you have an infant like we're talking about here or you have a teen, that's the best thing you can do. So I will leave you with that, but I want to encourage you that master class is happening. At least 2 out of the 3 classes are going to happen in the free Facebook group, and it's all free. So if it doesn't happen, if the 3rd class doesn't happen in the free Facebook group, we might get on a call or something like that where we can do audio instead of Zoom, because there's a lot of Zoom and a lot of screens going on these days. So I hope that you'll join me in the Facebook group, find out more, maybe attend the class live, because it's going to be better the more people are live, because I'll get to respond and be in the moment with you instead of just, kind of spewing out of my head. Okay, with that, bye for now. Have a great rest of your day, and I will be back tomorrow.